In the name of the Board of Trustees and of the faculty and administration of Newman University, I hereby confer upon G.Michael Green the degree Doctor of Laws, honoris causa.
Good afternoon. It's really a moment of pride for me and for my family to receive this high honor. I'd like to thank everyone associated with Newman University, importantly the Board of Trustees and its chairman, Jay Devine, and the president of the university, and my friend, Dr. Rosalie Miranda. I'd also like to especially recognize my wife, Mary Beth, who is with me today, and my mother, Mary Green. My father unfortunately passed away last July, but I feel very much that he is with us here today on this beautiful field in this courtyard with the students who have completed their degrees and their loving families. I'd also like to acknowledge my colleagues who are receiving honorary degrees with me today, Tracy Davidson and Bill Giles. I think it's important to know that in the Office of the District Attorney's work, we do a significant amount of outreach. A moment ago, you heard of the Senior Exploitation Unit. One of our big outreach programs of each year is a Shred Fest, where we ask people from throughout the region to bring papers and things that have personal identifying information on them to Rose Tree Park here in Delaware County to be shredded. Our office co-hosts this with Channel 10. And Channel 10 finds the sponsors and the money to cover that. The person whose idea it was originally to have these Shred Fests is Tracy Davidson. And Tracy is with us in Rose Tree each time we have these events, regardless of the weather, regardless of the conditions, with a smile, greeting everyone who comes to see her and giving each of them very special attention. She's to be commended for that great work that she does personally and on behalf of her news gathering organization. And Bill Giles, for many, many years the face really of the Philadelphia Phillies. We think of them as the team in white with red pinstripes that plays at Citizens Bank Park, and before that at Veterans Stadium and at the old Connie Mack Stadium when I was a kid, where my father first took me to see a ball game. But the Phillies are much larger than that. They represent our region, they're in the community, they're of the community, and during times that have been hard economically, they've been a point of pride for all of us as they've excelled on the ball field and been with us at community activities throughout the region, and I thank them for that. I'd like to acknowledge Newman University itself. You heard of the One Plan strategy for safe schools. In a real way, it was born right here on this campus in the building across the street, where Newman allowed us to draw together leaders from throughout this community. School leaders, certainly, but also our private business concerns, their leaders, to come in here with law enforcement and elected municipal officials to craft a plan that would work throughout the 49 municipalities of Delaware County and become very much a model for the way this should be done well throughout the Commonwealth and hopefully across the country. It's worked out very well time and time again, but it was Newman who hosted those very important sessions. And there's another component to the Safe Schools program, and that's our university community. About 6 years ago, there was an incident right off of the Villanova campus that raised huge concerns about safety on college campuses for students, faculty, and administrators, and the importance of connecting those communities with the rest of the municipal government and the news gathering organizations. You see, there was an armed intruder attempting to get into a home, and all of the schools in that community were notified with the exception of the biggest school in that town, Villanova University. And for a few hours, an armed intruder was loose in that neighborhood, being followed by armed police officers, while students and faculty at the university knew nothing of what was going on. Several weeks later, it was president of Newman University, Rosalie Miranda, who invited the presidents of the 12 universities and colleges who call Delaware County home here to this campus for a dinner. And it was at that dinner that those universities and their role in the One Plan strategy began and became part of the real fabric of what we all do now in Delaware County. And I commend Rosalie for her leadership and making that personal connection with each of her colleagues who head up the other universities and colleges right here in the county. Finally, I want to address the graduating class. There are three things that you get today in addition to the diploma. One is your reputation for integrity. A second is your reputation for knowledge and understanding in your field of endeavor. And a third that you carry from this campus is collegiality. That feeling that you gather from having gone over the past, for the undergraduates, 4 years, and for the graduate students, the length of your graduate studies together as a class with your classmates. Those three things are critically important to maintain forever during your lifetime. Integrity is your reputation for honesty. Never allow that to be lost. When we look at political figures, leaders of business who have failed so obviously in the public eye, often they failed because they allowed their integrity, their honesty to be compromised. Remember that. And finally, use these three gifts in addition to that diploma to be of good counsel. You learn to be volunteers here. Many of you have really grown in your volunteerism as a result of being students at Newman University. Take that to the communities in which you'll live and work, pray, and play over the balance of your lifetime. There's going to be a young kid whom you don't really know, who will probably ask you, what's it like to go to college? Can I do it? And you're there to be of good counsel and encouragement to that young kid. Make sure that that child feels, as you do today, that anyone in this country who has a desire to achieve and the willingness to work hard can be whatever he or she wishes to be, regardless of the community from which you come, the economic circumstances from which you come, regardless of whatever the circumstances, you can make it. Give courage and confidence to those who ask you for your counsel and advice. Be great. Families, be proud. These are great people. Take them home with you. They're going to go to the four corners of the earth and take the name of Newman with them for the rest of their days. Congratulations.